The markets are going crazy right now as we speak, guys. You can see I'm looking at the dollar index, and I noticed that price came from it being here at the high. We expected this first touch, second touch, and now being a third touch. And then we were looking for price to just shoot just a bit more to the bottom so they can break these lows. But it didn't do that. It failed to break the lows, but instead it went back up and then it broke the highs, which means that we can see this is a young breakout, especially with this candlestick here that engulfed all the way upwards. It's a young breakout to the upside, which means that we could be seeing our first target areas be here and then going for this area somewhere around here. But this is the dollar index. So in today's video, what I want us to do is I want us to quickly take a look at how the markets is reacting, what's actually going on, especially with trades that are going to be impacted or influenced by the dollar index, such as Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, NASDAQ, and as well US 30, so we can be able to understand what we can expect from the market. So I'm just taking a look at the dollar index just to have a clearer understanding, especially on a bigger time frame, because I see now we are still in this 4-hour. Once it closes with a clean breakout to the upside here, this candlestick closes with the breakout, I believe that there will be a confirmation for it at least coming all the way up to somewhere around these areas. And then from these areas, that's when we might potentially see a sell, or we'll just see when it gets there, because ultimately we don't want to say what the market is going to do in terms of future trends. But right now it means that we understand and we're seeing where it's going. So what does this mean? I want us to take a look at Euro USD and see how we can use this information to our advantage. Because with me already now, I can simply see that I had this area be my double top areas, and price when it got here done this double top area. But initially I wanted price to break above retest, so it continues going up, but it didn't do that. Instead it respected this first touch, second, third, and this is where the breakout happened after that those touches. What I mean is, when I put this here, this way, it wasn't really a clean breakout. You can see price got here done this engulfing, and then when it got here at this area, it's where price gave us a nice clean breakout. So already with this, I can simply see that okay, price has confirmed where it's trying to go, where it wants to go, which is here at this 90% rule. So what I'll do is that I'm more likely to just wait for at least some area of resistance, because right now I can't sell where it is. What I'd rather do is I'll go maybe on a smaller time frame like the 15, and already I can see here we had our double top. You can see first top, second top. So what I'm more likely to do is that I'll just have my entry looking for a sell, because already I can see there's a lower low, lower high, and then price came and gave us lows. So which means that this is our most recent lower high. The right here is where our most recent lower high is, and price came in respected here. So what I'm more likely to do, especially when looking for an entry, is I'm going to place a sell here. I'm going to be able to just put a 15 pip stop loss, and I'll be able to just write this all the way down. This is what I will be doing personally. So I want you guys to not see this as financial advice or anything similar to that. It's just for educational purposes, because this is what I will be doing in the markets. But I'm looking for something more like this. And then when it comes to, let me just do this, purple, just to show that I'm seeing something that makes sense. Let me come to GBP USD. So in GBP USD, more like the same thing, but also I don't think I'm gonna really be involved, because here where we are currently, I can simply see that price, yes, first touch, second touch, here it broke out, came back to give us a young retest, but here it's more like previous support areas. So price, it looks like it's retesting somewhere around these areas, which means that from here there's a high chance that price can potentially maybe either go up. But obviously, because of the fact that right now we're looking for the dollar index to be gaining strength, which means that GBP might be dropping, which means that there's still chances of us coming all the way down here. But how we enter this trade is what actually matters. And what I'm seeing here is already with this candle, I'm waiting for price to at least, because right now it's a double bottom, so it don't really make sense for me to sell here. It's a double bottoms. In fact, this might even be a buy because of how it is, like in terms of how being on double bottom, support, this area is support and all those things. But if I'm looking for a sell, I'll rather wait for price to break below, and then when it comes back up, once it gets somewhere around these areas, that's when I'll be able to place my sell and go all the way downwards with it. And at the same time, one thing that I like is that with that sell, let me just do with that sell, it will just be an area whereby you see if I have this trend line be here, it will be more on a third touch type of a scene, which means that somewhere around here is where I'm going to be looking for an entry, placing an entry stop loss just above here, and then going all the way down with it. But for that to happen, price has to only break below here, because right now it won't really make sense for me to sell because it's a clean trade that looks like it might even buy, truly speaking. So that's why sometimes it's better to wait for the trade to play out, because with how it is now, if I was looking for a buyer's momentum, I'd already be in on a buy going all the way up to here, you understand? But because of the dollar index gaining strength, that means that I need to now allow it to play out, which means that I have to wait for price to break below, close below, and then come back to retest. So if it doesn't do that, I'm not gonna be involved. So with this one, you're more like the same thing. For price to really confirm that buyers, for it going all the way up, it has to break above this area, because why? This is our previous lower high, which means that it didn't break up, but it didn't close above. So as soon as it closes above, that's when it's basically showing a confirmation of it going all the way to the upside. But that is GBP USD, and here I'm looking at US30 as well. So on US30, it's moving clean, it's moving nice. I love how it is so far, but I can see this pattern that's being printed, impulse, this corrective nature right here that's being printed. But at the same time, we've got this area, first touch, second touch, and now we are here at the third touches. But also look at what happens when price was going down. It went down impulsively. So with this, I'm looking at price maybe giving us and continue to go all the way down to here, which basically means that with how price is moving, I just need to be a bit more careful, because I understand that here was a first touch, second touch, third touch, and as soon as price gave us the third touch, started ranging around here. It started ranging a bit, and then it broke downwards. So right now, yes, it makes sense, but it didn't break below this trend that we have here. So the only time it makes much more better sense is if price closes below and then it comes back to retest. That's the only time it makes sense, because now we're selling at resistance. Unlike now, if I sell now, it's wrong because I'm selling at support, because price is still supporting. It's on a support trend line, if you understand how I'm seeing the markets. But that's just one of the ways. And if I just go to the 15 minutes, already I can see on the 15 minutes, you can see it done more like a double bottom type of a structure. So that's why I say that this, if I was looking for a buy, this would make a perfect buy scenario, because I will be looking for a buy. But right now, I'm not really looking for a buy. At the same time, I'm just waiting for the market to show me exactly what it's looking into doing, because with the looks of it, I think there might still be chances of it coming all the way up to somewhere around here at the resistance, and then retesting these areas, and then still continuing to go downwards. Because why? I can see already here with thin structure, price came, give us this low, and then it done this low, it broke the low. So obviously it broke this low, it also broke this low, which means that this is the 15-minute interval. On the 15 minutes, it's showing that it's creating lower lows and lower highs. But right now, if you look at it, this is a low, lower high, didn't break the low, and if it closes above, it means that it broke this lower high, you understand? So if price comes here, that means that I'll be looking for a sell somewhere here, so the price can hopefully go and break that low, continuously going all the way to the downside. Okay, but this one here, it's a bit more, I need to be more careful in terms of how I'm going to be executing it. But I won't lie, it's looking good, it's looking clean. I love how it's moving, and with the way that things are, the market is really moving in the rightest way. So I'm excited with this. Let's look at NASDAQ. It's an amazing one. So with this one here, very simple, very plain. One thing that I'm seeing is that I removed all the structures that I had in terms of looking at everything all in one, and I just put them on the side. But so far with where I am now, I can see we've got this first touch, second touches, and here third touches. But at the same time, because now it's New York session, the market literally just opened now. So you can see, price is now pushing, trying to just maybe either push upwards. But even when it's pushing upwards, because of the fact that it failed to break above these highs, this first touch, this second touch, what could potentially happen is that price could give us a third touch somewhere here. Once we get third touches, then price breaks and then starts to give us those sellers going all the way down. So I'll just look at what it does, how it gets here, what it does, because this is when I'll be able to get that nice clean trade. But besides that, for now, I'm not gonna take this short-term buy, because of the fact that even the rest of the reward doesn't make sense for me. Looking at it, if I take it here, first take profit would be here, and hopefully if it breaks above, I'm looking to take. But already with first take profit, I really need to make sure that the first take profit is giving me way more than 3x, you understand? So that's just one of the best ways that we are able to remain, consistent in the markets. But when it comes to gold, if you guys remember how we spoke about how we saw it and everything, you can see price gave us first touch, second touches, or second touches here with third touches, and we were speaking about price going all the way to the upside. So here price went, it reached this area. So to Sonia, it's also tricky because of the fact that we are now at all-time highs, which means that you can't really have a take profit at a specific level because price is just creating all-time highs. So with the looks of it, I'm seeing that could be that price has been, you know, super impulsive. Price has been moving, you know, to the upside in the last few days. So what could potentially happen is that price could either just come back down to the bottom so that it's able to retest some area of support just so it continues to go all the way upwards. But for how we're going to find that support, obviously just getting a sell here won't really make sense, especially the fact that we are all at all-time highs, unless, you know, I'm going against, you know, the fact that we are on all-time highs. So that's, maybe I can do this, but that'll need me to be scalping, looking at it from a smaller time frame and so on. But for now, because I won't be doing that, I'm just gonna, you know, let this basically create some lower lows. You can see a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Price continue going lower low, lower high, lower low, up until it gets somewhere around these levels here. And then once it's at these levels, that's when I'll start to see what it actually does when it gets here. So what I mean is somewhere here, you see here was previous resistance, this area, previous resistance. Once it gets here, that's when I'll see how it's reacting. And then if it's basically like, let's say within structure, I'll go to the smaller time frame, 15 minutes. If it breaks the lower high in the 15 minutes, I'll re-wait for a retest, and then I'll be able to just take another entry going back to the upside. Because why? I just want to find myself on the right side of the market. But I understand that even now, the fact that the dollar index could be going up, which means that even with gold, one thing that I can see is that there could be chances of it. Let me just see which one is it. There could be chances of it going all the way to the bottom. You understand? There could be chances of it just breaking below and then going all the way to the bottom. So that's also it. And how I would be looking for a sell, let's say for instance, is right now, I'll just, you see here, this was a nice first entry. As soon as price got here at first resistance, you can see that we basically had this evening star, which is this engulf upwards, the star, and as well the impulse all the way downwards. So what I'm seeing here is just nice clean pattern, more like this. And with this pattern, how it's showing, let me just use actual, you know, writings, trend lines, more like this. And with the truly speaking, I'm seeing it just be ready anywhere from here. It's just that obviously for take profit areas, it's going to be a bit more tough, but with what I'm seeing, at least looking to take profit. You see, one thing that I like is first take profit must be able to give us numbers like this. So yeah, more like this, and then it'll help us. But at the same time, more confirmations would be it breaking below here and still continue to go all the way downwards. So guys, I just hope that this video is going to help you. Obviously, if you want, you know, more analysis, let's say for instance, if I happen to share these trades in terms of in the improved version, you can join our Telegram group, which is going to be the very first link in the description. I will see you on the next YouTube video. The one thing that I need you to do is to please kindly just like this video, and at the same time subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell, so whenever I upload videos, especially in real-time form like this, you do not miss out. I'll see you on the next YouTube video.